When The Last of Us opens, it doesn't begin with infected monsters or crumbling cities. It begins with Sarah. Her day feels ordinary, waking up, making breakfast, trying to fix her dad's watch. But the camera lingers on her in a way that invites us to invest in her life. And then, just when we're attached, the world collapses in a single night, and her death shatters both Joel and the audience. This isn't just shock value, it's a deliberate filmmaking choice.
Terrorists?
Don't. No.
Are we sick?
No, of course not.
Why did things blow up?
Cell phone already.
By letting us breathe with Sarah before tearing her away, the show creates a grief that lingers throughout the entire season, shaping Joel's every intention. That emotional anchor is what makes the rest of season 1 so devastatingly human. Across the season, The Last of Us masterfully balances spectacle with restraint. The cinematography alternates between sweeping, desolate landscapes and an intimate close-up, showing us a world that is both brutally empty, yet achingly full of memory. Lighting is used like a character itself. Harsh and cold scenes are in danger, warm and dim are in moments of trust, echoing the constant tension between survival and vulnerability. Pedro Pascal's Joel is a study in controlled emotion. His guarded stares, the hesitation in his voice, and the slow cracks in his armor show a man trying desperately not to care again, and failing. Bella Ramsey's Ellie is his mirror and his challenge, sharp-tongued, stubborn, and yet carrying her own hidden wounds. The pacing of the show is daringly slow at times, letting quiet moments breathe so that when violence erupts, it feels sudden and unavoidable. Episodes like Long, Long Time prove that this series is as much about love as it is about loss, using subplots to widen the emotional scope beyond Joel and Ellie. Sound design amplifies dread without cheap jump scares. Creaking wood, distant clicks, muffled gunshots, all designed to immerse us in a constant state of unease. And while the infected are terrifying, the show makes clear that the true threat is human desperation, from cannibal cult leaders to oppressive military control. By the time we reach the finale, Joel's choice is both horrifying and heartbreakingly inevitable. The culmination of every wound, every bond, and every flicker of light he's clung to since Sarah's death. The Last of Us Season 1 isn't just another video game adaptation. It's an exploration of what love makes us capable of, for better and for worse. Sarah's story is the beating heart of Episode 1, and it's no accident that the show spends so much time letting us live a day in her world. The camera lingers on quiet moments, her flipping through DVDs, fixing Joel's watch, the subtle way she listens more than she talks, so that when the chaos hits, it isn't just the world collapsing, it's our world too. Her death isn't played for shock value, it's intimate, handheld, and suffocating. A masterclass in restraint that turns Joel's arc into one of the television's most compelling portraits of grief, particularly throughout the whole show. And from that moment, The Last of Us stops being about the infected. It becomes a story of love, loss, and the impossible choices people make when the world offers no good options. Across the season, the filmmaking mirrors this central theme. The color grading leans into muted earth tones and washed out skies, grounding the apocalypse in a gritty realism rather than styled spectacle. Lighting is used to split the story between worlds, harsh whites in Fedra-controlled zones, warm glows in rare moments of connection, and deep shadows that swallow characters whole when danger looms. The sound design is equally interesting. Every creak of wood, every echo of a clicker, every silence is weaponized to heighten tension, all at emotional breath. The camera often frames Joel and Ellie in tight, claustrophobic compositions during their early interactions, visually reinforcing their emotional distance and gradually opening up as their relationship grows. Episode 3's Long, Long Time stands out as a tonal pivot, an isolated love story that expands the cinematic scope beyond Joel and Ellie, showing that beauty can still exist in ruin. Episode 5's Kansas City arc pushes moral ambiguity to the forefront, questioning who the good and bad people are when survival is the only law. Even moments of action are handled with precision. The sniper sequence's episode 6 is as much tension and moral choice as it is about bullets. By the finale, when Joel makes his grateful decision in the hospital, the series has primed us to understand, even if we can't agree with it. It's a choice born from wound opened in episode 1, the wound named Sarah, and the show never lets us forget it. Season 1 doesn't just adapt the video game, it translates its emotional DNA into a language of television that blends the performance, cinematography, sound, and pacing into something hauntingly human. In a genre often obsessed with jump scares, The Last of Us dares to slow down, to let silence speak louder than violence, to let love feel more dangerous than monsters. It proves that true horror isn't in the click of a creature in the dark, it's in the choices we make for the people we can't bear to live without. That's why Season 1 works not just as an adaptation, but as a landmark in television storytelling. A show that reminds us that the apocalypse isn't about the end of the world, but about the impossible weight of surviving it. Joel and Ellie's bond doesn't erase the pain of Sarah's loss, it sharpens it. Every glance, every small moment of laughter, every silly argument is haunted by that absence. By the end of the season, when Joel lies to Ellie, it's not just an act of survival, it's the desperate, selfish act of a man who cannot lose a daughter twice. The ambiguity of that choice is what lingers with us long after the credits roll. What makes The Last of Us resonate beyond that screen is that it refuses to let spectacle overshadow intimacy. The infected are terrifying, yes, but that's never the point. They're the stage on which humanity reveals itself. The show's brilliance lies in how it transforms a survival story into a meditation on connection. How people cling to love even when it destroys them, how grief can hollow out or harden, and how hope becomes both salvation and a curse. I would give the show a 9 out of 10, purely because of the intimacy, the cinematography, and the storyline, and how the video game was nothing like the actual show.